Hi guys.
I'm Becca.
I'm Alyssa. This is another episode of So I Was Like. We're here
In our apartment.
sitting on pillows. We still don't have a couch.
Still don't have a couch.
At this point, we will be living here for like 6 weeks. It's
Without
not
a
even like
couch.
we can't like get a couch. It's like we literally just haven't sat down and like picked one out because I feel like we're so busy all the time.
Yeah, and also like when we are just like in our apartment alone, all we do is like we're eating and we're talking like in our rooms. Like we have to yell at each other.
Yeah, we like sit at the end of our beds and like scream to each other.
But also, you guys, couches are like expensive. Like
They
I don't know
are.
if you realize that.
Yeah.
So it's expensive. We need to do it though. What color should we get? I don't know.
I don't know. So Becca wants to do white, but I'm like, bitch,
Or
yourself
cream.
tanner. Like, come on.
Or cream or something. I don't know. I don't know what I want. I think.
I feel like a light gray, but she says that it's gonna like close the room.
The light gray will go with. Look at our wall.
Maybe I'm colorblind, but the walls look gray to me.
Exactly, dude. Why would we get a gray couch with gray walls?
I don't know. We can do like a gray couch and like white throw blankets and like white pillows.
But I feel like, okay, you guys don't care about our interior design. Our life updates are that over the weekend, I went back to my college town and it was literally so fun. Like I was scared people would be like, oh my God, not this like podcast, like TikTok girl, not her. Like, but people were literally like so nice. They were so excited to see me, which made me so happy. It felt like everything was like paying off because like they were like taking pictures. I was like meeting a bunch of girls. They were like asking me all these questions. They were so excited about the podcast and like everything. So it was like really good like closure to know that like I'm doing something right and like I like people from my college are like supporting me kind of. So I'm like lucky in that sense. I don't know if it's different for you.
Yeah, it's different for Becca because she didn't have like a following in college. So like with me, like I started blowing up when I was in college. And I feel like I'm like one of the only people that I can like think of right now off the top of my head that like went to Alabama with like no followers and then came out with like a large following. Like I know a lot of girls that go there have large followings, but like they had already had like their following in like high school and stuff. So like for me, it was like an anxiety. Like I had so much anxiety when I was like in school because like walking to class, like people like see you and like I don't know, like a teacher will like call on you in front of like 100 people and it's like, oh my God, like what if people like follow me and now I have to give like an educated answer? It's like weird. And then you have like the haters because like we talked about last week, like they used to sit next to you at lunch. You know what I mean?
It sounds like I feel like it sounds like we're being like a little bit like self-absorbed by being like, oh, we have followers, so our life is so hard. We're not saying that. It's more like an anxiety thing.
Yeah,
like
it's like a
walking
mental
around.
health, like anxiety, like getting in our own head. Like I know I'm like not like famous, but like in my like head, it's like, oh my God, everyone's perceiving me. Like
It's like a perceiving thing. I agree. It's like that
Yeah.
word perceiving. Like it's like, what do they think of me? Or like if like some girl like takes a picture with me, like was I nice enough? Was I like fun enough? Did I give her like people were like, oh, it made my day. Like some girl DM'd me the other day. She was like, I know you were like so tired, but thank you for like taking time out of your day to like talk to me. And I was like, oh my God, like did I seem tired? Like, oh God, like I need to be more fun. Like I need to like be energetic. Cause like for them, it's like if I saw someone that I followed like on TikTok walking down the street, I would be so excited. I know myself, like I love things like that. I'd be so excited. And if the interaction went badly, I just know it would like ruin my perception of them forever. So like sometimes I do worry like, oh my God, like how do I be? I don't know. I do worry about like being perceived. And the other day, you know what someone said to me while I was actually at my college? They were like, before you post something, do you ever think like, wow, this many thousand people, like all of these people are perceiving me in a different way? And I was like, I didn't, but thank you for putting that in my head because now I'm thinking about like 42,000 people even on Instagram, like looking at a picture that I decided to post and being like, ew, or like, why would she post that? You know what I mean? Like it's
one
weird.
time I posted a picture and like 500 people have sent it. And I was like, what the fuck are these people saying about me?
Like, are they talking shit or like, do they like it?
Yeah.
You know, like,
Sometimes like I like tweeted one time. I was like, why did 500 people like send it? And this one girl replied and was like, sometimes me and my friends like will send pictures of like people we follow. Like they'll like send it to like be like, oh my God, her outfit, or like
I hope.
Stuff
That's
like
like
that.
best
I'm
case
I
scenario.
hope maybe. Or like they'll be like, I sent it to my hairdresser. I'm like, I mean, I hope so. Like, you wouldn't tell me if it was that anyway, but
But for me, it really is new. Like Alyssa had followers throughout college. Like I followed her and when I was in college. And so when I kind of like blew up, I was nervous about like what people like in my real life would think. And they've been pretty good about it. But like going back to my college was like a lot of like, I was like, okay, good. Like they support me. So like that, seeing like a physical like representation of like your success, like paying off. It was, first of all, it's crazy to know that people are actually paying attention. Because in my head, it's like, oh, 3 people are like looking at everything that I post. But like it's real people like out there. It's like weird to think about like things.
I always think too, I'm like, I follow people on social media, but there's only like a handful of people that like I could see on the street and be like, oh my God, I follow you. So I'm like one of those people to like someone, to like even one person. Like I'm one of those people. Like that to me is like, oh, like
yeah,
I love it, but like I don't know.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like going back, I don't even know how you do it because even when I was in college, like, and I feel like you guys can relate if you're in college. Like when you walk places, like people like just know you from like your campus. Do you guys ever get nervous? I remember I used to get like nervous when I was walking. I was like, oh my God, I look so bad today. I hope like no one I know sees me, or like I hope like the guy I hooked up with last week doesn't see me like going to biology. You know?
Oh my God, when I was in college, I would like always steal guys like shirts and clothes. I still do.
Oh,
like,
I would wear them.
Like I'll like get up in the morning in their shirt and I'll be like, you know, I'm taking this, right? And like I'll leave. And I would always wear it like to class, and I'd be like, what if I run into him like wearing this shirt? Like little things like that. It's like, yeah.
I gave
like, do you guys feel like that? Or
one time I was like seeing this guy for a while, and like, okay, his hygiene was not the best. I'm gonna be honest. Like
Becca. It's
not
okay.
like
My
that.
ex used to come in his sheets and then sleep in it. Like,
okay,
when
not
I wasn't
like
there.
that. It wasn't like that. He just like didn't want to. He invited me to his formal in Tennessee, and we went. And he didn't bring a change of clothes. So we were there for 4 days, and he didn't have like a suit. Like all the guys wearing suits. It's like that kind of guy. Like he just doesn't believe in like changing clothes.
So he wore the same suit. Like
he wore the same shirt. Even you should. I'm gonna send a picture. I need to insert it. I'm sorry. Like this needs to be in the video.
You need to.
Because it was insane. Like the picture, I was wearing this like long white like gown. And he was wearing like a polo, like a weird not even like a polo. It was like a weird like t-shirt thing. So anyway, but he didn't have many shirts. So when we were, so that was like the end when I realized how kind of icky he was. Like, sorry, I hope you're not listening, but I got the ick when I went to formal with him. Before that though, I went through his drawers and took like 4 shirts. Apparently that was his entire wardrobe. So when I did that, and I thought it'd be like a funny like thing because we were like kind of talking. So like, and I just like didn't have anything to wear. And actually, no, I just collected them over the time that we were like seeing each other. So I had like 4 shirts in like one of my drawers. And then one
day he texted her and he was like, hey, you took every shirt.
That's what he did. He did. He said, I don't have any clothes. Like I have to go to Walmart and get clothes because of you. And I thought it was funny. So I like laughed and I was like, ha ha ha, yeah, for sure. And he was like, Becca, I'm serious. Like this is actually really rude. Like I need my like, clothes back. Anyway, I gave them to my friends after formal because he didn't bring like a suit and tie. And they wear them around campus all the time. And like he would get irrationally mad. Like one time my friend walked into a bar wearing one of the shirts that I gave her from his, and he walked
Becca's like handing out his hands like closet.
Like one for you, one for you. Because I thought it was funny. Like why he was so disrespectful to me to like not bring a suit when it embarrassed me. Honestly, it was embarrassing.
No, that honestly is rude. Like if you're gonna like bring a hot girl somewhere, like make yourself look like presentable.
He like did not respect. It was just so disrespectful. So yeah, I gave them out. And then my friend walked into a bar wearing one of his shirts, and he was sitting in the booth, and he stands up and he's like, give me my fucking, to my friend. He's like, that's my fucking shirt. I'm so fucking sick of all of you guys. You guys are not funny. Give me my fucking shirt. And he like starts like verbally attacking my friend, and he got kicked out of the bar.
Okay, wait. I'm going to go on like a little rant about guys who like get mad about like stealing clothes real quick. You are a man. If you're bringing home a girl from the fucking bar and you know she was wearing a tiny skirt and a tiny top, like you should be prepared to give that girl a t-shirt and sweats to go home in, and you should not be fucking annoying when she doesn't give back your fucking shirt from Walmart. Like over the summer,
you kidding?
I went home with this guy. I was like talking to him for like a hot sec, and I like took his sweats which had holes in it. Let me like remind everyone. there were holes in the sweats, the little drawstring thing. Like there was no string in it. Like they were literally these raggedy ass sweats. Like I did not think this motherfucker like wanted his fucking sweats back. And then he like, I went to Nashville for like 3 days and I came back and he had a girlfriend all of a sudden. And I was like, okay, whatever. I wasn't even that mad. I didn't even like him that much. And then he started texting like all my friends individually and was like, you need to get all my clothes from Alyssa. Like acting like we were like 16 and went through a breakup. Like texting all my friends like, I need my clothes. Like this isn't funny. I need my clothes. I was like, I'm going to be really honest with you. Like I have no idea which sweats are yours. Like he can come over and like pick it out of a pile and like try and find them, but they might not even be here. And then we were in like the same friend group before he left the group chat because his girlfriend like doesn't like me and made him leave. And his friends, when he was still in the group chat, one of his friends went in there and was like, Alyssa, you need to return Chris's sweats right now. And I was like, you guys are literally acting like we like had this traumatic breakup. And like they made this whole scene in the group chat because I would not give this kid back his sweats with holes in it. And it was this like whole, I can't even explain how like embarrassing it was on his part that he was making like this whole scene out of fucking sweatpants.
The monetary value, okay, let's think back to like basic times. The monetary value of sexy time is way more.
Yeah.
In fact, he owes you money.
He owes me fucking money. Like, especially after the reviews I heard he gave his friends. Like, you should be paying me, dude.
You need to send him an invoice. Be like, yeah, you can have your sweats, but that'll like take $3 off of what you owe me. Like, you owe me like $500.
No, literally. He made a scene for like weeks about these sweats.
That's so stupid. Anyway, we're going on.
We are going. I'm just saying, like, if you're bringing a hot girl like home, like you should go to Walmart and buy $5 sweats to give out to girls. Like, this is ridiculous. That like guys.
Ew, I don't like the thought of that though. Like them buying like stock clothes. No, just like be not poor and get yourself more clothes. Like, I'm sorry, like you're guys. Like
No, yeah, it's just ridiculous.
Anyways, our main topic. Should we get into the main topic? Our main topic today is going back to college, right? Because we went back to college.
Well, and then like how like different
because we're done with college now.
Yeah.
So like how our lives have changed and how
different life is post college compared to like what it is like when you're in college.
A lot of you are in college and I know you don't really want to think about that. So like I'm not gonna do the depressing side really. More like it gets kind of better. Like I remember everything that seemed huge to me in college really does not matter now, and in fact it's like actually very funny. Like the biggest thing that I went through, I literally had to go to like almost therapy because of this. The biggest thing I went through in college, like this biggest scandal.
Is it when the girl said you punched someone?
Yeah.
Oh, I like this story.
It's with Johnny. Do you guys remember Johnny? He was like the frat guy that I like had this like long thing with. And then like we ended. Did I tell that story?
Yeah, you told that story in like the first or second episode.
We ended because I blacked out and it was like really dramatic and I like really liked him. So when I blacked out and like I totally was the problem, by the way. It's totally my fault that we ended. He left me for another girl within like a couple weeks. So I was like devastated. And I remember like he was just so hot. And like I was like so depressed.
Is hot.
He's very hot. Like
me and Becca have different types, but like I will say that is a very hot man.
And he was just like so sweet to me. He was such a great guy and I fucked it up. It was my fault, totally. And so that was so hard for me to go through. But then on top of that, his ex-girlfriend was attacking me, like still me, even though he got a new girlfriend, but like I was the problem. Like she was saying like, you stole Johnny from me. And it turned into like, dude, I'm not even with him anymore. Leave me alone. And then it was like a big battle of like the Johnny thing. Like it seemed like the whole school was like in love with him and everyone was mad at me. So another random girl, his new girlfriend had a friend who made up a rumor.
What should we call her?
His new girlfriend?
No, the
friend.
Friend.
Mary.
Because
she's still a character in our life, honestly.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you guys about that like side note after this story.
Mary, small world, by the way.
Small world. Me and Becca have been intertwined for like years.
And we didn't know it. So I was devastated that like this guy so imagine like the top frat guy at your school, like super hot guy, and you fuck it up and then you have to like go on with life. But people are attacking you about it. Like girls are being mean. They're commenting on my pictures, sending me evil DMs. This girl made a TikTok about me like a year ago. They're still not over it. And so they just didn't understand the story. So like that was like the biggest thing I had to go through in college, was like no one understanding that like I did not steal this guy from this girl. He willingly left his girlfriend and decided to start dating me. That's what happened. And everyone wanted to blame me. Anyway, it was like the biggest thing at the time. And the second I left college, it was like the entire thing was over. And like, it was just funny. All of a sudden, like everyone was making jokes about it. But like basically the biggest part of it though was like, this girl said that I punched a girl in the face.
Mary made up a rumor that Becca,
I punched his new girlfriend in the face.
Becca doesn't know how to punch anyone.
I've never punched a single person in my life. Not even like my siblings. I don't even know how to do that. I don't get mad like that. Like I don't, and I would never do that. So anyway, yeah. And like people actively thought that I like physically assaulted some girl, which I would never do.
Over fucking Johnny.
Like I would never do.
But in college, like things like that, they seem like the end of the world.
A rumor about you. These were rumors about me that weren't true. And like I experienced like real mean girls that were like commenting evil things on my pictures, and like they just didn't know me. Like if you know me, I'm like the biggest girl's girl. Would never steal a guy from a girl. Would never punch a girl. Like I would never do any of that stuff. And like the perception people had of me was so false. It was so frustrating to me, and like it ruined my entire like self-esteem, and like it felt like my entire life. It felt like high school, like a high school thing. And so yeah, but everything's fine now. No one thinks
like now it's like a funny anecdote that like we tell each other. But Mary is still a character. Should I tell them about Mary or no?
I feel like it's not hard. It's too hard to explain.
It's too hard to explain. Just like me and Mary,
we'll talk about her.
The same guy, basically.
Yeah, we'll talk about her in another. We'll go more in depth on how crazy it is on another episode. But yeah, we know like the same person.
Yeah, it was just funny because like me and Becca like didn't know that
she hasn't really done anything to you.
No, she hasn't done anything like wrong to me. It's just funny because
she has done stuff to me.
It's just funny because I live with Becca, and she made up this like crazy rumor that like ruined Becca's self-esteem. And then like I found out that like me and her were like talking to like the same guy. Yeah. And I don't even live in the same state as them, so it's just funny.
Yeah, I feel like girl, like I'm always on the girl side, but like sometimes I think when it comes to guys,
bitches are crazy.
Yeah, like honestly, I've been crazy too. Like I do some things like that too, but like looking back, like I really hope that like you guys are also, if you guys are in college right now and a guy, you're heartbroken over a guy and like he has a new girlfriend, I am begging you, please do not like give in to the temptation to like start rumors about a girl or like do like lie about a girl or like make her life like a living hell, because it's not worth it and it makes you look bad in the end, because now everyone knows the truth. Everyone knows that like those two girls, like it was just, I don't know, it makes them look crazy, and in the end the truth comes out. So guys are not worth it because there's so many other guys on your campus. I went back to college over the weekend and I realized how many hot guys I missed out on because I was so focused on Johnny, who, by the way, is still crawling around our little campus doing his same little things with little freshman girls. Like he's the same.
Ew,
yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, it was actually kind of weird. I'll tell you about that later. But anyway, yeah, no, things are okay now. And like, I'm not. Actually, I did hang out with him for a second.
Oh, really?
Not that, but we were talking about it. I was like, like you caused like the biggest drama in my entire college. And he was like, yeah, I know. It was kind of fun though, you have to admit. And I was like, for you, because you were the guy that was getting like fought over.
Yeah, he was like the guy like in the middle. Like he got to like, he was a character, but he just got to like sit there and
got to sail around,
popcorn and like watch like these hot girls.
I will say he did try to like defend me. He would like be on Instagram in the comments and being like, you guys are insane, like shut the fuck, leave her alone, like she's not even involved anymore. But yeah, that seemed like the biggest thing ever. And like the way people thought of me in college seemed so important, kind of like high school. But now like the second you leave college, like all of that goes away. It's kind of like going back into a new college once you graduate. Like you can build your reputation over again, or like you're the person you want to be, it starts over.
And like you're right, like you don't care what people think of you. Like when I was on campus, like in college, like I would be so upset if like someone didn't like me just from like something they heard or like a perception. Like it would ruin my night. Like I would go home and like be upset because I have this weird thing where like not that I care what people think of me, but I always want people to like feel good about themselves when they leave my presence. So when people don't like me, it's like, did I make them like feel bad about themselves? Like what I do, like it's not necessarily like, oh, why don't they like me? It's like what did I do for them to not like me? You know what I mean? But then we were at Tin Roof a few weeks ago, and this girl from my school came up to me to like say hi, and her friends and like roommates who also went to Alabama, they were like giving like dirty looks. They were like giving me and Becca dirty looks, remember? And Becca said to the girl, your friends look like mad over there. Like, is everything okay? But that in college would have ruined my whole night. Like, I would have literally went home. But now that I'm out of college, it just seems so like small and like I don't care. Like when you're in college, you're in like this little world and this little bubble, and then you leave and you're like, oh, they don't like me. Okay, cool. Well, I live in like a huge city. Who cares?
Right. Like it doesn't matter anymore, especially if you do live in a small town and you think maybe this doesn't apply to you. I would say move out of your small town. You can move anywhere. You know,
that's the thing.
Like we were thinking about that yesterday. You can move anywhere. Like I remember I was heartbroken over quarantine and I was like, I should move just like a random city. And I thought about moving to Charleston for a second.
Just like picking up and moving.
Because I was just serving, like I was doing nothing. And I was like, why don't I just serve in Charleston? Like, why don't I do the same thing I'm doing here in like a better city on the coast? Like have fun, like just move. Like, especially if you also like, you are not to be like really deep. I swear to God, it's like 10 a.m. like we're sober, but like not to be really deep. Like this world is just like a playground. Like you can literally go anywhere and like be whoever you want. Like literally, if people in one city or one school hate you, go somewhere else.
Yeah, that's another thing. If you're still like in college, and I know this is like getting off track from like college versus like real world, but if you're in college and you're unhappy, like at your school and on your campus, fucking transfer. Like think about transferring. I know it seems like, oh, I made this decision to go here. I'm stuck here for 4 years, but like you literally could just transfer. Like I know it sounds it seems more complicated than it is, but it really isn't. Like,
we had Michaela on our podcast, and she decided to not go to Alabama anymore because of Rush. She's happier now. She's like fine with it. Like if you're miserable, I mean, also I will say though, it's not as big as you think it is. Like people not liking you, less people care about you than you think. Like people didn't actually like really hate me. Like it was just like in my head. Because when you're in college, you're still a little bit underdeveloped, like especially self-esteem wise. I would like compare myself to everyone and I'd be like, oh my God, what I wear is so important. And like what I'm doing, everyone cares about it, but it really doesn't matter that much. People aren't paying attention to you. They're more focused on themselves. So, but if you really feel like you can't get out of the way people think of you, or like you made a mistake or something, blah, 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 just leave. And like, who cares? You know?
Who you are when you're 18 also so different than when you're 22. And I know it doesn't seem like that because you're in college when you're 18, you're in college when you're 22, but you really are so different and you don't really realize it until like you move. Like I felt like I was the same person when I was like 19 that I felt when I was like, when I'm 22, when I was living in college. And then as soon as I moved, I was like, no, like I am so different. Like once you're out of college, you have such a different perspective on just like the world, I guess. Yeah. Like who you are.
I feel like to give you some reference, when I was 18, I was dating the manager of a pizza place. And that was the beginning of my freshman year of college. That was like my entire freshman year of college. And then by the end, I was like laughing, like dying laughing, like at the fact that I did. Even the next year, every year, I was like a completely different person. So everything changed. Like you're going to have a new friend group from freshman year to senior year. And yeah, you're going to be fine. Everything's okay. And then even when I graduated, I feel different from a year ago when I graduated too. Like it's just, things just aren't permanent. And if you don't even like the person you were, you can just change the person you were and like change your career. I don't know. You can just do whatever you want. Like it doesn't really matter.
Just do whatever. Doesn't matter. What else is different from like college versus real world? Let's talk about like dating.
Okay.
College versus real world. So like I am fresh out of college, but I didn't really my last year in Alabama, I really didn't see anyone like romantically or physically for like the last year, just because I was so like over it, I guess, if that makes sense. But when I think about my junior year and then I think about how I'm like dating now, it's so different. Like in college, like most relationships start by you meet the guy at a bar, like he slides into your DMs, you guys bang the first night. And then if he like likes you, like he's going to keep hanging out with you. And if like he might date you. And in the real world, I feel like you don't do that. Like I don't go home with anyone.
No, that'd be guy. If a guy like is trying to get you to go home with him on the first night, like now as like,
it's like a red flag.
Yeah. It's kind of weird. It's like, ew, how old are you? also, um, when I was in college, I remember like I think you guys should appreciate one thing about dating in college is seeing them everywhere. Like being able to see the guy you like. That was so fun. Like you could see them like in class.
It was so fun. Being like, fun. Oh, well, everyone goes to Moe's on Thursdays. Like I know so-and-so is going to be there.
Now it's more like you have to like go on dates and run into them. And like, it's like awkward. Like it's just, that part was fun in college. Like you would see them.
That's what I miss most about college is like the bars. Like knowing who you're going to see at every bar.
I mean, living in Nashville is kind of like that, though.
Yeah, it is kind of like that, but it's just not like, maybe we just don't have a feel for everything yet, but like, I don't know. I just
Nashville,
like,
it's kind of like another college, I feel like, because
but bigger.
It's bigger. There are more characters, but also like the same people. We see the same people every time we go out. So
yeah,
cities are kind of like another college. If you want, like, if you really think you're gonna miss college and like the experience, which I did, I was so sad after I graduated. Like I was depressed for so long. I would say move to a city because it's kind of like the same thing. Honestly, it feels like I'm a freshman in college right now.
Yeah, it feels like I'm a freshman in college too. Like, I kind of love it.
I'm like on vacation, like on a summer camp, like getting away from my parents. Like it's really fun. But cities are fun, I would say, if you are gonna miss college. Yeah. Should we go into like, wait, what was the other, are we going to talk about guys, like dating?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so the difference between dating in college versus real life is the guys are the same, honestly. the guys I talk to.
Honestly, like a lot of guys you're going to meet post-college are like overgrown, like frat boys. Yeah. Like I talked about last episode, like they still have their fucking fraternity in their bio.
Get that out of your bio now.
Yeah, stop at that. But they kind of act the same. Like they're all like fuck boys. Like everyone always says like Nashville, the dating scene sucks here. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It makes me nervous because I'm like ready to like
have a boyfriend.
Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd say like if I like really liked a guy and he was like, I want to like date, I would be down. Is where when I was in college, like I could really like a guy, and as soon as they said they wanted to date, I was like, no, I want to have fun. Like, you know what I mean? So.
I'm also, complete side note, I'm in like the longest like dry spell
guys,
of my
I'm getting worried.
Life.
I'm really getting worried about her. Like it can't be like mentally like healthy to go this long like without any like sort of.
It's not
really even. She hasn't even like had a sleepover or anything. Like she hasn't even. When's the last time you even kissed a guy?
Seth.
Oh, it was.
But all we did was kiss. Count. And it's been like really hard for me, honestly. Like I'm like suffering.
It has. We're like, we need to find someone that like.
No, but the thing is like it's at the point where it's like I like who the next person I hook up with, I'm gonna fall in love with them. Like I'm like gonna get feelings like hard because like it's been so long. Like I don't know.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I'm like wondering if I should like.
I'm gonna start like a calendar and like cross off like every day she goes like without sex. And then the day she finally does, I'm gonna like make her a cake. And, like,
the reason is because I've never been, except maybe in like the beginning of college, but I've never really been the like one night stand kind of girl. So like usually when I'm hooking up with people, it's like the same person for like a long time until we end. And so the reason that it's been so long is because it was the guy, my old boss. He was like the person I was like with. And then I was talking to a guy for a while, a baseball man. Don't talk about it. I feel like he's listening. I was talking to a guy for a while. I don't know. I like the people I talk to are usually like long distance. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's been a long time, and it's been like 3 months. But yeah, I ended it with like the guy I was consistently hooking up with, and then I thought I was gonna talk to a hockey guy, but
yeah, fuck him.
Sorry, no more.
I don't like him.
Oh, I feel like he's listening too. I feel like they all listen.
He probably knows by now I don't like him.
He does. He definitely listened to that. He blocked me again. So he listened to the episode. But anyway, that's like painful. I'll go cry about that later. But anyway, yeah, it's been a long time for me. I think that I don't know if I want a boyfriend right now. So it's like, ooh, I can't really go home with anyone. So I guess it's just a waiting game, and I'll keep you guys updated on when I finally do.
It's just hard because Becca doesn't talk to anyone when she goes out.
No, I don't. You guys, I don't know how, like, what's wrong with me. When I go out, I don't talk to guys. I literally just talk to Alyssa, Savannah, and like my friends. Like the bartender. Like I just talk to the bartender.
This is another thing I miss about college. This is like reminding me of that. I miss like you could go to a bar and meet a guy at the bar, but like you know people that know him and like do you know what I mean?
Like you know
like
more about
you
him.
hang around this one frat and you're like, I want to talk to so and so. Like there's like a kind of like a batch you can like pick from in college of like guys or like, oh, he's friends with my guy friend. You know what I mean? As for when you're not in college, it's like you literally have to hope that you're at a bar and a decent guy comes up to you.
Yeah. Oh, so when you're not in college, like you have to wait for someone to come up to you. Yeah. But also another random, this episode is like chaotic, but like another random side note. One thing about college is if you hook up with the wrong guy, there are like rumors.
There are rumors.
So
there
like
are crazy bitches coming at you in the Gillette's bathroom.
Yeah, there are like there are consequences for every guy you choose because everyone knows someone. Because college is like a smaller pool of people, and so in the real world, it's not like that. It doesn't really matter who you.
Yeah, it really doesn't. Girls don't hold grudges the way they do
in college.
Like in college,
your life doesn't revolve around who you're like seeing. You know, so that's like a positive thing.
That's a positive thing. As we're in college, it's like, oh, like you assume when you're in college, you like assume a girl doesn't like you because you're hooking up with her ex-boyfriend. Mm-hmm. You're like, yeah, like Nicole doesn't like me because I'm like hooking up with her ex.
And more guys are
usually
off
you're right. Like usually they don't like you because you're hooking up with
guys
their ex.
are like off limits in college. Like if you hook up with one guy in a frat, like that entire frat's like off limits. Or like one team, like that entire team's off limits.
Oh, and then yeah, or if you like do end up hooking up with the second one, then they all think that they can like get with you. They think you're like one for the frat.
Ew.
That's how it works in Bama. Like if you get with like 2 or more guys in the same fraternity, like they're all gonna try and bang you.
Ew.
It's really gross. The frats there are like really gross.
Are they like hot?
Honestly, the guys down there are not hot at
really?
all. I mean, I guess the northern frats have like hot guys. Like when I was a junior, the seniors in like Pi Cap and Pike were really hot.
Yeah, like I feel like the girls are always like way exponentially hotter than guys in college, and so when they're like, because guys at like 19 are like not really cute.
And I feel like guys get hotter with like life.
With age, yeah.
Like, oh, they get a job and they have a good job. Like now they're hot. Like, you know what I mean? Like
they have money.
Surrounding guys like can make them hotter and more attractive. Is where in college it's like you're either like hot, like objectively hot, or you're like really funny and confident and everyone loves you, and then like you get bitches. But like other than that, it's usually like a really hot girl with like this mediocre guy. Yeah, so just know that you're worth more than whoever you're dating, and you like it gets better. Guys get hotter as you leave college. Also, don't keep dating your like college boyfriend forever. Like that's so boring. So senior year usually that's my other thing is like don't take relationships in college so seriously, because a lot of times your senior year you realize one of you wants to go to California and one of you wants to go to New York, and you're like, oh, let's just break up for our senior year, and then you wasted like 2 years of like college being in that relationship with them when you could have been like having fun and like making like more girlfriends and stuff. So don't take like your college relationship so seriously. Yeah, and don't get blinders on. Like if you are really into a guy, like don't let him dictate. Like you're missing out on so many people when you like, especially like that's like real life too. Like if you really like a guy, there's so many other guys though. If he doesn't give you the time of day, I always see on TikTok these like affirmation things. It's like he's gonna pay more attention to me tomorrow. Like I promise, which like totally I like believe those things too. Yeah, but same. It's like if a guy isn't like giving you like the love that you deserve, you need to snap out of it and like talk to someone else, because seriously, there's so many guys that are like waiting and like willing to love you. Like it's insane. Like you need to stop like settling for less, especially frat guys. I feel like that's most important post college. Like in college, everyone's a dumb bitch. Like I did it too. Like you go back to that guy who like doesn't care, but it is like a funny anecdote at the end of the day. But like post college in real life, it's like, okay, now you like have a full-time job, and like they should have a full-time job, and like you're looking to like literally like build a life for yourself, and you don't need anyone in your life that's gonna distract you from that. Yeah, focus and seriously not contribute to it. It's like a cliche, but seriously, I would say focus on yourself first. Make sure that you like yourself before you're like throwing yourself at guys. Like don't beg a guy to love you. Like you need to love yourself. Not to be like super cheesy, but like for real. Like work on yourself, and then guys will naturally come to you like wherever you go. And the thing is like, if you really love yourself and like you're your best friend, then when you lose that guy, it's not going to feel like the end of the world.
No, because you have yourself still and like you like yourself. That's how I feel like I like myself a lot more right now than I did in college. So losing guys is kind of like a joke now. It's like funny.
Honestly, yeah, it is like a funny like
it's like
anecdote.
Oh my God, like bye. Like I don't know. So you'll get to that point. Everyone will, and it'll be fine. Life post grad is going to be fine. Should we go into questions though?
Oh yeah.
We have questions of the day for you guys. But yeah, college life is fun, but city life is fun too. So maybe move. And college isn't everything.
Yeah, I definitely like also I suggest like moving to a big city after college. Like I don't think you should go if like obviously I get like some people like need to go home, but if you can and like have the means to like move to a big city after college, like one that you never imagined moving to, then like I would do it. Like I never would have imagined living in Nashville.
Yeah, I thought I was going to stay in Ohio forever. Can you imagine? I'd rather die.
Questions?
Yes, questions.
Okay. So this girl wants to message this super hot DJ that's coming into town, and she wants to know how to initiate it. She said this is specifically for you because you always DM celebrities.
Yes. Hello. I got you. So what I would do, can I see the question specifically? It's literally just how to slide in like a guy's DMs.
How do I initiate it? Do I follow him first? What should I do?
No, don't follow him. Don't follow him yet. But also remember, don't put him on a platform in your head because at the end of the day, he's just some guy. And so like, he's not above you in any way. He is coming to your city and trust me, he wants to bang a hot girl in whatever city he's going to. I guarantee you. So you already have that going for you and you sound hot. So you'll be fine. All you have to do is like, wait for him to post a story and like, think of something that relates to it. Don't say like, don't be boring and be like, hi, I live in Columbus, Ohio. Be like, oh my God, I'm in Columbus. And if he posting a picture of his food, I would be like, I live in Columbus and we have better food here or something. And like, he'll be like, oh wait, I'm coming there. And then like, you're in forever. So just like I would reply to his story. Definitely. Don't do like a dry DM. Like don't be like, hi. Just like, I made you do that one time.
Becca made me do that to this like
hockey guy.
He's literally so like objectively hot. And he's like a really good hockey player and he follows me on everything. So I thought like he liked me. Like he follows me on Twitter. No guys follow me on Twitter. It's all girls. So I asked Becca, I was like, so should I DM him if he's following me on everything? She's like, yeah. And we were really intoxicated. We just got back from Mr. Jones in Miami. And if you've been there, like nothing good happens between those walls.
No, they didn't.
And I was like, what do I say? She goes, say hi. So I did. And now it's just like a word I use all the time to like make fun of myself because he never answered.
Hi. Yeah, and he left her on red, didn't he?
Well, he answered and he said hey with like a bunch of Y's. So then Becca told me to say, what's up? With like 7 P's, and I did, and he never answered. But he still likes all my photos.
So maybe don't take my advice on DMing guys. But I'm just thinking, like, would you reply to a DM from a guy that said hi? No, I wouldn't.
Not
unless he was like, really hot.
It like verified, then I would.
Yeah. So yeah, just reply to one of his stories.
Okay, this girl wants to know how to dip in her relationship in a way that isn't too dramatic / making a scene.
How to break up with him?
Basically, like leave his ass without like being like a crazy girl.
I love drama. I'm not the person to ask for this.
I feel like I've gotten way better at this within the past year. Honestly, like you need to think of like how you want them to talk about you. Like, do you want them to be like, she was fucking crazy. She fucking threw a hammer through my TV and burned all my clothes. Or do you want them to be like, oh my God, like she left. I'm so sad. She was such a good girl. Like if you leave and you have like a crazy exit, then they're going to not want you back. You want to make them like want you when you leave. So like you literally, I think should just be like, we're done. Get all your stuff from their place, leave. And then when they text you and stuff, like don't answer, leave them on open. Like you need to like make them like, it needs to be known that like you are done and like, that's it. And you're like putting your foot down and just cut off all communication. But I wouldn't block.
No.
That makes you look like you're hurt. Just.
It depends on like the context. If like it's you, if you really just don't like him anymore and that's why you're breaking up, then you could just be nice about it and be like, hey, I'm sorry. But if he did something to you and that's why you're ending it, you want to play the victim and make him want you back. And by the time he wants you back, you'll be like way moved on and you'll be better. But I would say, yeah, don't do anything crazy. Don't like ask his friends about him. Don't ask anyone he knows about him. Live your life like as if nothing happened. Like don't post like sad quotes. Post the exact same way you normally would, and like just be calm and don't drunk text. Do it in like a way that makes him be like, damn, I really like, you want to be the one that got away. Always think about that.
Like, and also don't like mute his stuff. Like you should still like view his stories because he's going to start posting like for like,
yeah, and you want to see that.
And it's going to drive him crazy if he sees like you view his shit and like you don't respond to it.
Right. Everything he posts for like the next month or so is going to be like at you. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So don't reply to any of his stories, even if it's like one that always gets me is like when they like go to a place that we used to go to together and then he posts like with all of his friends and they're there, and like I would always reply to that. Don't reply to that. Keep it to yourself no matter what he posts. It's all at you. You're right. And yeah, he's not with another hotter girl. You're hotter than her. Don't worry.
Yeah. Okay, this girl says she's a mom of 2 and she's 32 and she still wants to feel young and cute. She's married, but she rarely gets head turns anymore. How could she have more like body image and self-confidence?
That's probably like in your head, and then you're manifesting like people ignoring you even more by your body language. I would honestly say pretend like you think you're like the hottest girl that Kroger has ever seen or whatever.
No.
Like,
so like my thing that I've noticed within the past like 3 weeks, literally 3 weeks, is that there are girls who are just so confident and I'm like, oh my God, they're so hot. But if they were like insecure and like had bad posture and like didn't like were really worried about what people thought of them, I wouldn't think they were like just objectively like not really like.
It doesn't matter how hot you are. If you don't think that you're hot, then you're not hot.
Yeah. If you have like really good like posture and you like talk with confidence and like you can like don't take yourself too seriously, then like you just come off as more attractive to everyone.
So it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter how old you are, how many kids you have, like how ugly you think you are. Literally put your shoulders back and then walk around with your head up and like don't look down. Don't look at your phone the whole time. Like wherever you are, be present in that moment. Then you'll seem so confident. Everyone's gonna be like staring at you like no matter what. And just pretend like you're like the main character in a movie. And yeah, people are gonna like be like, what is up with that girl? Why am I so attracted to her?
Also, this past weekend when I was in New York, I went out with my best friend's older sister. And like when we were growing up, like she was like what we wanted to be. Like she was super hot and so cool. And like she would drive us like the parties and like buy us alcohol and stuff. And now she's like married with kids and she's like 29. But like I don't look at her as like she's not that like hot girl anymore. I'm still like, I remember looking at her like when we were out and I was like, she's so pretty. Like I want to be pretty like that. Like I don't know, like you don't like get less hot because you have kids.
No, you know who has kids? Megan Fox.
Yeah, I didn't know that until today.
Kardashian. Yeah, because you don't have to seem like, oh, I'm a mom now. You can be like fun, like hot. Like Kylie Jenner. She has 2 kids now. So yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter that like you have kids.
No.
You're still hot. Oh, this is a good one.
Okay.
This goes back into the
finish us off.
Yeah. This is still gonna be the last one, but this goes with like the college life. She said ambushing a boy at a bar to finally talk to him. Good or bad idea? So I think I'm taking this as like you guys are in a fight and he won't talk to you and you see him out at the bar. Do you ambush him and be like,
no.
I used to do this in college, guys, all the fucking time. I'd be like, the guy would literally text me and be like, I see you're at Bear Trap. I'm coming to Bear Trap. Please do not be weird. Like, please do not come up to me and like yell at me.
No, don't. Okay. If you're like in a fight with a guy and you see him in public.
Pretend you don't know him.
No, honestly, I would just be like, smile at him. Like, acknowledge. Don't do like the ignoring game. I would say smile at him.
Honestly, I don't think you should even smile at him because guys in college, like especially college, they're so absorbed and think girls are like obsessed with them that he's going to like, you could smile at him and he's going to say like his friends, dude, she won't stop looking at me. Like,
I have a completely different opinion. I really, because I think that if you ignore a guy, he takes it as, oh my God, she's obsessed with me. She can't even look at me. So like, if you just pretend like he's another, like the way you would like act around like another guy in the bar is like, I would like make eye contact with like a random guy on accident. And then instead of looking away really quick, I would just be like just smile, like be like, you know, just like.
Yeah, I could see that. I
pretend
guess it also
like
depends on like the circumstances, like how bad the fight is, and like how crazy you've been previously to
or like if you are really if it's like a situation where like you're really into him and you know he doesn't like you as much, you have to tone it down and literally treat him like an acquaintance instead of like, don't ignore him or be like rude. Like if a guy doesn't like you, that's not an excuse for you to be rude to him, because then it looks like you're crazy. So avoid being crazy at all costs. Don't interact with him unless he interacts with you first, and don't be crazy in public. What I would say is seriously treat him like a random acquaintance that you had a class with one time. Like, would you say hi to him? Maybe in passing, if you're like walking by, you should be like, oh, hi, like that. Not like a John, like, you know, don't like get his attention.
Yeah. Like if you guys happen to pass each other and like just be like, oh, hey.
Be like, oh, hi. Like don't be like salty. Pretend like you're having the time of your life. Another tip is like, don't like flirt with like a bunch of guys, because he'll know what you're like in front of him. At least he'll see through that.
Just like have like a normal night out with your friends.
Pretend like he's not there, but like not in like an ignoring way. Does that make sense? It's kind of hard. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm talking about, but
yeah, just play it cool.
Like he's like a guy in your class that you have met like 3 times.
But absolutely do not go up to him and be like, so can we talk?
No.
Don't
oh my God,
that.
no.
Don't
yeah, no, alcohol. Oh my God, I did that one time and I got banned from Acacia, the friend.
I did that one time, and then he went home and I was like, can I come over like so we can talk?
No.
He's like, if you show up to my house, like I'm calling the police.
Do not ask to talk. Seriously, wait for him. He knows what he did. He knows the issue, and if he wants to fix it, he can fix it. He can reach out to you. Being at a bar and like happening to be at the same place as him is not an excuse to hash out what happened in your relationship, or to ask him, why don't you like me? Why'd you go home with my friend? Do not. Just like keep everything to yourself. Play it cool. You don't know him. He's a guy from your class you've met 3 times. Okay? Play it like that. Anyway, I feel like that's enough.
Yeah. Well, you guys know what to do. Follow So I Was Like Pod on Instagram.
Send us questions or loyalty test requests.
And subscribe and rate the podcast 5 stars.
Which you can do more than once. And also follow us on Instagram. Becca Moore and Alyssa Shona.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.